sort of almost for them is this sort of in the middle of nowhere with not many people and, sort of all these different kinds of, and these are the images that they have. And as soon as they see Mumbai airport, they don't even have to do anything. It's like, wow, this is India. It's not what we thought it was going to be. It's so totally different.
Welcome friends to the Tyne Wear show. So this is not a normal podcast as we do every time. This is a podcast with some international guests. So this is the podcast based on exchange program that is happening in Rajkot with Northeast England. Yes, you heard it right. It is with Northeast England. So there is a 5 teachers who came with a group of 17 primary school students who have been first time to our city Rajkot. So we have with us Miss Key Headley and Miss Jill Cortes, who is the deputy head teachers of Chopwell Primary School, Northeast England. Mrs. Veena Soni, who is the coordinator from England and also is a deputy lieutenant, and the 2 coordinators from Rajkot, Gujarat, that is Mr. Yogiraj Singh and Mr. Tyne Wear. So this is a 5 people whom we are asking some sort of questions. Yes, welcome to everyone to our city and obviously to the Tyne Wear show.
Thank you.
So my bit question will be your introduction in a brief, so our viewers can get to know who you all are and where are you from. So madam, we start with you, your name, your designation and what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Kay Headley. I am the deputy head teacher of Chopwell Primary School. I've got a BE honours in primary education, and I just love helping children achieve their full potential. Yeah, so kind of everything.
I'm Jill Coates. I'm another deputy head at Chopwell Primary School. I've also got a BA honours in education. I'm also SENCO at the school, so I mainly work with the children with any special educational needs. And I just really love seeing those children kind of achieve and just do what they can with education.
Yes, madam.
Lovely. My name's Veena Soni, so I'm going to be a little bit longer so that you get a better idea. My parents went to India from Punjab when I was 5 years old, so I've actually grown up in the UK, but I'm initially from India itself. And growing up in a different country, learning, experiencing new things, I think it helps you to understand and develop a different way of thinking, an understanding of the importance of people learning from one another. And with that in mind, I became a teacher, and through my work as a teacher, I was then headhunted by the Home Office to do work with the Home Office. So I became a very senior officer with the Home Office in London, and I was Deputy Head of Equality and Diversity nationally for the Home Office, which was very much about talking about communities, cultures, working together. So throughout my life, I've been working on the work around bringing people together, bringing communities together. And at a stage when my children had had enough of mum being away from home all the time, I came back to the Northeast and became head of department. And at the Gateshead Council, I was head of equality, and I used to do a lot of work. So with all that in mind, you can appreciate that I've done a lot of work with the communities and bringing communities together. And I'm very privileged and feel very honoured to have become a Deputy Lord Lieutenant for Tyne Wear, which means that I represent the King in events and activities in the northeast of Newcastle, of northeast of the UK. I also at one point was awarded the British Empire Medal for my work in bringing communities together and helping to bring about good relationships.
So this medal is equivalent to this Padma Bhushan or Padma Vibhushan in India,
right. Yes.
If I'm not wrong, right?
That's right.
So
yes.
That's a big thing for us as well, sitting with you in this room,
Not at all.
going into your life.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I feel very privileged.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming on show. Yes, Ketan bhai.
Tyne Wear. The best introduction is friend of Mr. Savan Vora, and lucky to be a part of teaching team who used to teach Mr. Savan Vora. So been into the education field and into the finance consultancy. So two diverse areas I have worked with, and this is my passion, this is my hobby, to be with the children, to do exchange activities, and with my friend Yogi Raj, we run one initiative called Big Idea, Bhutan, India, Great Britain, initiative for development of exchange activities. So that is what Big Idea is, and love doing this activities, the exchange of hearts, exchange of minds, and being with the global minards. I call them minards, mind and hearts, right? So that's it.
Good. So by profession you are CA.
By qualification, I am a semi-qualified chartered accountant.
Okay.
So I have not completed my CA final.
Okay.
And by profession, I'm into the finance consultancy, working with the chartered accountancy firm. And my friend is a chartered accountant. My students are chartered accountants and working all over the world. So lucky to be with the chartered accountants.
Yogi bhai, about you?
Myself, Yogiraj Jadeja. I am associated with Panchal family since last 12 years. I have done my MBA from Rajkot itself. At present, I am running my own businesses. I am in business of solar. I am also in business of retail and some little bit of IT. Ketan bhai rightly said, as also a friend of you. And I am associated with these activities since last 11-12 years. And this is the activities who gives me friends like Ketan bhai, elders like Veena ma'am, Michael, friends like these two ma'ams who are sitting with us. So that's it.
So first of all, I'll ask to our guest. So how have your journey been in Rajkot?
It's been amazing. Yeah. Took a long time to get here, but the children have really enjoyed everything we've done so far, all of the activities, meeting the children from school, and seeing some of the sites. They've loved every minute of what we've done so far.
What's your experience?
I feel the children have really embraced the full experience. I just want to add to that. They've really loved the food, haven't they? And they've been on the phone to their parents today, and all they were talking about was the food. So they were really enjoying that part of it. And when they've been in school, they've learned traditional dances, and they've just had such a great time, just mixing with everyone, learning traditions, and just feeling like they're getting a real sense of belonging, I feel.
And today evening, they were with the cows. They were on the field.
Yes, they love the cows.
They watched the wheat growing, and then they went to the Gymkhana club and see the tennis match. So totally two different experiences at the same time.
Yeah.
Madam, what's your experience? It's been 2013, almost 14 years now. So what's your experience with Rajkot so far?
I just want to say that, and certainly when I'm listening to yourself again, and it all comes back to the same, in the last 14 years we have brought many teachers, we've brought many students here, and the one thing that always stands out more than anything, it's not easy bringing people here because it needs a lot of organising from people who are here. Yogi Raji and Ketan bhai, they do a lot of organising here, and vice versa at the other end, it's a lot of organising. But the reality is that if both of them, the organisation is good, then you have a very successful exchange programme. It's why that is not taking place, that things don't work out. And because we have a good exchange program, what we have found is that children start off from Newcastle, or that's where we normally start our journey from Newcastle upon Tyne, which is north of England. And the children always start with 101 questions on What is it going to be like this? Are there going to be cows? Are there going to be this? Is it, will sort of be, will I be able to do this or will I not be? So lots and lots of questions are there. And I'll say to them, in your mind, what do you think India is going to be like? And sort of, they'll sort of talk about bits and pieces. What, for them, that is all formed by what they've seen on television, what they've heard in school, what their parents have told them from their own experiences, and anyone else around. So once they've heard all that, they have formed that opinion on what they think they are going to see in India. And I'll say to them, well, hold on to that, because I'm going to ask you the same question at the end. Is it what you thought it was going to be like? And as soon as we arrive at Mumbai airport, it's like a shock to everybody, because I think they almost seem to have this expectation that there's going to be this little airport with hardly anything there, and sort of almost for them is this sort of in the middle of nowhere with not many people, and sort of all these different kinds of, and these are the images that they have. And as soon as they see Mumbai airport, they don't even have to do anything. It's like, wow, this is India. It's not what we thought it was going to be. It's so totally different. And by the time they leave, so many of them, I don't think we've had one child who has not said, I'd go back. I'm going to go back when I get older, and I'm going to travel more, and I want to learn more about India, because I know I've only been to one little part of India, and now I want to see the rest of India. So I feel that this exchange is changing the mindset of not just that one child, but their family, their grandparents, their community, their governors, everybody else around them. So that one person is impacting hundreds of people around them. And that, I think, is the joy of this.
100%.
And many of the children have said that I don't want to go back. I would love to stay with you.
And
that
some
is
who
something
said,
which is,
I was born in the wrong country, I should have been born here.
Yeah, one of the teacher who visited last year, he said, Breen is now head teacher of a new school, and he said that I think I was born in a wrong country. I would have born in India. And he enjoyed the socio and sing, Rajkot ni, and he took it back there, enjoyed there, sent me the photographs. This is something amazing.
Yogi bhai and Ketan bhai, what's your experience been so far?
It was like a great journey. Since last 11 to 12 years, we are together doing these things. And just thanks to Sonal Ben and Pansil, my parents' school, who gave us the opportunity to do this program. And we made a many good friends over there. We can say that we have one family in northeast of our England. There are more than 10 schools who visiting us. We've been there twice. So Newcastle is like our second home.
Yeah, Veena ma'am's home is like our own in Newcastle. So Newcastle, Durham, Sunderland, these are like our another hometown, I can say.
Gateshead.
Gateshead, yes,
Yes, and all part of.
And so basically this journey for us, both of us, started in 2013.
Okay.
But the roots of our journey started in 2010. And the key people, Mrs. Veena Soni, she is our mother in England, and she is the backbone of this program throughout. Since 2010, when she visited for the first time, then Sonal Ben was the person who introduced both of us to this program.
Yes.
Then Michael Flores, he also visited with Veena ma'am in 2010, and he linked his school. St. Anthony is one of the very old school, probably 130 plus years old school, and probably the biggest girls academy in northeast of England, and that was linked with KVKV, another historic school in Rajkot, another big girls school, and we were lucky to be part of that journey in 2013 because of Sonal Ben and Michael Flores. And Then Sonal Ben went on the spiritual journey, and D.K. Vadodaria from Panchil school. So he is like my elder brother, and for him he was his teacher and guru, and he was working with Panchil. So Panchil was supporting this program because KVKV being a grant in aid school, they required some resources to support this program. So Mr. D.K. Vadodaria, he supported a lot, and that's how their journey continues in Panchil.
Okay.
And then Panchil become the base for this program, right? And one important role, it's not a human being, but his farm. Because I was doing activities with KVKV, and I was working with Sonal Binsa. So she connected me, but we required one farm where the children will be safe and they can have different experience. So she chose this farm, luckily, Yogiraj farm, and we went there, and that is how I met Yogiraj, right? And so that farm has played a key role. So that is part of one of the key role in this journey for us. So these people have played a huge role in our journey of exchange program. And for me specifically, I would say that this has changed my myself completely, right? My nature, I used to be very angry all the time. So I learned, don't get angry at things you cannot change, from Mr. Michael Flores. And it is not just a sentence, it is an experience which I have done. And yes, now I don't get angry at things I cannot change. So a lot of things, like days I can talk about this journey.
Can I just give you a little bit background to the whole project?
Definitely,
because
yes, please.
This project is funded by the Department of Education, by the UK government. So actually it's a funded project, and it started off as a connecting classroom project by the British Council, which started with a group of schools here who applied and said they were interested in developing links with schools in England. And that's how the whole of the Connecting Classroom project started. And a group of them, about 100 people from India throughout, so not only just Gujarat, Delhi, South India, we had people from all over. They all came to London, and we met with one another, and then again there were teachers from north of England, there were teachers from south, and so on, and we developed the first link. That link is when Sonal came, and she was linked, and 4 teachers from here came and linked with schools in Sunderland, and there were 4 teachers that linked with schools in Gateshead at that time. So it was a Department of Education funded project at that time. Then as time went on, I actually started, because I remember I came here after that first initial. I brought a group of teachers from here, the 4 teachers from here. There were actually 8 of us came then to Rajkot for the first time. I had never been to Rajkot. And at that time, I didn't know yourselves neither. So we visited Sonalji's school and all the other schools that were linked. So that was the initial first batch of schools. It was teacher-based, teachers learning from teachers. So the teachers from England came and learned from the schools here, and teachers from here came to England and learned from schools there. That was the first level. Then the second level is when they thought, actually, it's not just the teachers, it's the young people themselves that need to go out and experience. And after the first groups of, I think I came about 2 or 3 times, but then I'd met yourselves. In fact, there was a conference at the Imperial, and I was introduced to yourself and DK sir, and from there, it's, they said you were interested in going into the project and so on. And that's then we went to the next phase where Panchal became involved. And at the other end was that it was more children-based then, and not just teacher-based. So the initial was teacher-based, but not this one. when it came to the children, and that was for the first time we brought the teachers and the children, and then we
And I
started.
think the credit should be given to Michael Flores because he brought the students for the first time.
In
St.
2013.
Anthony's. St. Anthony's, they came with the girls in 2013, sixth form girls.
Yeah, because the whole idea is government, that even now, all the people who are here and have come previously, the money comes from the government. It is all government funded, and they feel, and I think that in itself tells you the importance that the government feels in young people learning about other countries, other cultures throughout the world. It's not just India based. You can go to Africa, you can go to anywhere. So the school can link with anywhere in the world. We are very fortunate that we have our links in Rajkot and we bring people here. But then there are others who go elsewhere. So it's about the government feeling the importance and understand the importance of our young children becoming global citizens. The other side of it is that it's actually meant for people from disadvantaged areas. And by disadvantage, we mean not just people disadvantaged money-wise, but there are lots of people in rural areas who don't often get opportunities to travel other places. And when, many of the children who've come this time have never flown yet. So that's another new experience that we're giving them. So we're talking about people who might be living in areas where they don't get an opportunity to mix with people from lots of different communities, and therefore they don't have that experience. The minute they leave school and they go out in the world, they're actually going to meet lots of people from lots of different places. So with all this in mind, this project is really, funded to target young people who would learn a lot from going. They say that if you read a book or you watch television, you learn something and maybe remember it. But if you experience something, you'll remember that for the rest of your life.
100%.
And years later you will do.
And
That's it.
Veena ma'am has done a lot of work with schools here in explaining the importance of the exchange program, and she has done a lot of work there because in my visits I have seen she took her to the British Council office. We met British Council office bearers, and she has done a lot of efforts to take this program to the level it is now.
First question will be for you guys. What inspired Chopwell Primary School to participate in this exchange program?
I feel like we just saw the value of our students getting this really important experience for coming to Rajkot and meeting all of the lovely people, seeing how amazing the hospitality is here. I would say the best in the world, but also just to meet children in school and see actually how they learn, how you learn, and to just share those similarities and just talk and be together and be one. We had a group of students who came last year, and that was the first time we'd ever taken the leap, and it was a very scary thing to do, I believe, the first time round. But like you say, with all of the planning and the organisation that goes into it, the first set of parents were so brave as well, and backing the children, saying yes, this is a once in a lifetime experience, go off there and enjoy. And when that group came back, the praises were just phenomenal. Our students, our staff were so pleased, and they couldn't stop talking about the activities they'd done, the places they'd been. Chokadani was a big hit. There was the Gandhi Museum with the light show. They loved everything. So then there was no question about whether the next group of children would go the year after. And we were lucky enough, we had our hands up. We were like, pick me! we would love to come. And like you say, sorry, as soon as we got on the plane, as soon as we arrived at Newcastle, there were a few worries, weren't there, with the children, and how, what would it be like, and even as adults ourselves, we were a little nervous too. But with Veena and Yogi Raj and Ketan, I just feel like all of our worries were just immediately relieved. It's just been an amazing thing to do, and we've got such wonderful links with you all now, and I just feel like it will be a lovely link to continue in the future. I think we've been so lucky.
Yeah, we're really happy.
Yeah, so
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Question for you, madam. How do you think such international exchanges benefits students academically and culturally?
I just think it's an amazing opportunity to kind of go out in the world and kind of broaden their horizons and build a little bit of independence as well. So kind of being away from home, having to come away with staff from school, it's a bit of a strange experience, isn't it? So they've all been really brave to come, but they've absolutely loved every single second. They've seeing the different kind of the way the school runs, comparing it to home, seeing some of the sites, being involved in new experiences. I mean, it's not every day you get to meet princes from different parts of India, which we've done today. It's just been absolutely amazing for them. So kind of it really builds life skills, and it kind of gives them, opens their eyes to new experiences that they could have themselves as they get older. And I think academically, it's just kind of seeing the different ways in which the schools work. So we've spent a lot of time in school looking through children's workbooks and kind of seeing what they learn and kind of comparing to what we learn at our school. I think it's been really eye-opening for our children and it's the wow factor of just being here and kind of seeing everything.
Madam, next question is for you. What were your students' initial reactions when they found out they were coming to India?
I think certainly the initial reaction would be from these lot because it was their students who. So I've been working over the years, as I say, with all the students for the last 13 years or so, teachers and students. So therefore, if I was to say the initial reaction when they see me and think, okay, we're going, then definitely it's sort of, they have a vision of India which is totally different to the reality of India. And I've worked that out from every single visit that we've had. And they all start by asking you questions on, is it going to be like this? And they still have this picture of what India was 50 years ago maybe, or 30 years ago, or whatever. So they all have that. Has it got this? Has it got that? And sort of you say, okay, so what is your vision? What do you think India is going to be like? And hold on to it. And keep that. And then when at the end of it, I'm going to ask you the same question. And you tell me what you think India is. And each one, so as I say, as soon as they arrive at Mumbai airport, it's like, this is Mumbai airport. And yes, and I think they almost thought it was going to be like huts and a small little, sort of, it's going to be this little airport with sort of, maybe not the extreme, but definitely not, because this is what in their mind, that the airport is going to be like this. And when they see it and when they see the architecture, they see sort of everything, and they're just like going around looking like this as to say, wow, what, and then the shops, and then, and sort of, then they're comparing it to what Heathrow is like, and sort of, it's like straight away, that learning, that remembering, that sort of, you were talking about educationally, culturally, all that was being, sort of taken in, the way people dress, the way people eat. They went into the airport and they saw such a diversity. So in their mind, everybody eats, chapatis, they have curries and they have rice. That's food. And then all of a sudden they say McDonald's and they say Pizza Hut and they say all this and thinking, hang on, there's a lot more to India than just that. And that's a starting point. And every single, I would say, student that's gone back, we've had them who cried. We've had those, I don't want to go, I want to stay here, I want to live here. We've had I don't think there's one who has not said to me, I am going to come back when I grow up. I'm going to go back and tell my parents I'd like to come on holiday here. I want to, come and explore it more. So every single child at some stage in their mind want to come back and explore in India even more. And the one thing that I'll tell you that really always sticks in my mind is that I was standing once, a group was leaving, and this sixth form, sixth forms, and he came and he just grabbed a hold of me and started hugging me, and he said, I cannot thank you enough for what you have done for me, because my whole mindset has changed, my way of thinking has changed, and I cannot believe that I have actually done this. And I used to think differently, and now I'm thinking differently. And I can promise you, I will be coming back and I will tour India and learn a lot more than what you've taught me now. So to me, that was always sticks out more than anything.
I 100% believe that it's a game of thought process. It's not a game of money, it's not a game of influence, it's a game of thought process. Once your thought process is changed, even my children, with inception only, my kids now say that I'll study in world's best college when I go to college. It's the ideation or the thought process of the parents that you can give to your child. You can, dear, you can think big, you can do big.
Absolutely.
You are born to do big, but if you are scared of even thinking, of even dreaming, then no one can help you.
No one can help you. Absolutely.
Madam, my next question for you both can give the answer. What differences and similarities have you observed between schools of England and India?
I think the biggest difference is kind of the setup of the day. So over here, am I correct? It's primary children in the morning and then secondary children in the afternoon. Whereas all of our children go to school from, say, 10 to 9 till 25 past 3. And that's primary and secondary children. So the setup of the day is definitely a very big difference between the two. Some of the subjects are quite similar.
Yeah.
But obviously over here we do kind of specific languages, where our main focus is obviously English language, English literature.
I think similarities, what I've found is that a lot of, I would say both sets of children are very willing to communicate, even though there is sometimes a language barrier, and they work so hard to try and get that across. And you can see both sets of children are so welcoming, so friendly, and actually are desperate to get that link and to talk to one another. And actually that is just so, it's so heartwarming that actually we can all learn from one another. And I think that is definitely clear from both sets of children.
I think one of the things that they've enjoyed the most is actually being in school and playing the games together.
Definitely, that was a big hit, wasn't
the kind
it?
of the sports day games that they played.
That was
they
amazing.
absolutely loved that and just kind of communicated through play.
So, in primary, do you teach your students skills or what? Is there any curriculum for skills in primary?
So we kind of focus on life skills and being part of a community as you grow up. So especially with my kind of children with additional needs, it's kind of helping them get the basic skills to be able to join community as they kind of grow up and get older and be able to live independently. So we do a big focus on life skills, and then we do kind of academic skills through the lessons that we teach. So each teacher has 1 year group and we teach every subject to our 1 year group.
Okay. So
And I think, can I just say that going on from what you said about the most important thing, that is that children were talking to one another,
Yes.
and even though the language wasn't there, that was not a barrier. They were
It
communicating.
didn't stop them at all, did
And
it?
they were enjoying playing games, they were doing everything to. So that really teaches us that at this age, if we can bring children to understand that we're the same, regardless of where we live in the world, and whatever our culture is, our language is, our food is, everything, we are the same. So at what point do people change and start thinking differently? And is this the right way, by bringing young people together from different cultures, is this the right way of helping children to learn from one another, respect one another, and respect each other's differences and similarities? I think that's the question and that's what we want to try and really, that's what the whole project for me is about, helping children to understand that.
Now, next question is for you both. So, how have you started this?
By grace of God, I would say. It all started in 2013. So I was actually doing different activities with KVKV. And in 2012, I got the opportunity to visit with 3 of the students to Bhubaneswar on a British Council program.
Okay.
And I would have left education field in 2012 because I started in 2001, and I was feeling like now there is a generation gap and so on. students are now not like the old days and so on. And when I visited there, I came to know that I have been freezed in 2001, right? And I need exchange with the young people, right? And that is how the journey started. And in 2013, uh, 4 girls of 6th form, they were all 18, 19 years old, from St. Anthony's Catholic Girls Academy in Sunderland. With 2 of their teachers, they visited KVKV.
Okay.
And me and Yogi
Yes.
Raj were part of the hosting team
Yeah.
on behalf of KVKV. So I must thank Sonal Ben for connecting me with this opportunity. And they were my first English daughters. And today I'm so lucky because I have daughters in England who are teachers, who are mothers now. And that is how it started in 2013, hosting 4 of them, taking them to Gir Forest, taking them to different families in Rajkot. And I don't know what they experienced, but I experienced a lot. I learned a lot, and that is how I came into this. And I don't feel it's 13 years journey. The time went like this.
Next question is for all 3 of you, as you are the part of coordination team. So don't you guys are scared doing this? Reason being, these are pretty small kids.
I would
And the safety is the major concern when you bring this sort of people on continuous basis.
I would tell you one thing. Like, since I was in my second year of graduation, I am connected with coaching classes and with the students, with the teenagers, right? With the chartered accountancy students. I've been into CA coaching for 22 years, right? I have never taken the responsibility to take them on any picnic, even for a single day, because I was always scared, as you said, to take the responsibility of children. But I don't know why and how. I have never given any thought that there are risks involved in doing this activity. I don't know why, I don't know how. It is probably inspired by, as I said, grace of God, right? And we have never experienced any such thing in these long years.
But I want to add something. You were talking about scared. We are not scared to hosting children over here. But there are some questions and some situations comes when you are hosting such a big delegation. There were 2 or 3 incidents where I would like to mention, which inspire our viewer and especially young people who are watching this program. In 2015, Veena ma'am, you came in 2014, end of the Kirsty and Beverly. Then you let in Michael, Abigail and Victoria came. The time of Diwali and Navratri, I and Ketan Bhai was hosting the 3 of them. The 2 girls were staying with us for 3 months. The 2 schools were involved. One of my Pansi, another's KVKV, and we both are working. At that time, my father got heart stroke, and immediately he needed surgery. So at that time, you were responsible for the family, because I am the one and only son, and you were the similar way that you responsible for the hosting the delegation. The situation is not like that, because you can imagine before the 10 years ago what was like that. So at that time, my family, my wife supported me. Similar way the Ketan and all the supported, so these things happen. Another things happen. 2018, when I and Ketan Bhai was planning to visit UK in October with some people from India. His father was passed away, sir. Before 15 or 16 days ago of our trip, the commitment of his family to allow us to continue this journey. The third thing was happened in 2022. We are going to host more than 100 people from there, and all the children are below 15 years old. The delegation was coming from November and it will last till March. The first delegation was arrived. Before few days ago, got taken as another exam. Ketan Bhai's mother was passed away
On 5th of the November.
on 5th of November. And we have to welcome the guest on 18th or 19th of November. Again, his family supported us. Sometimes you cannot give your time to your family, your commitment
And
is there.
the support,
So
I would say
through
that
this stage, I would like to thank my family, my wife,
even
my
the best
parents,
thing I would tell you
and his
is
family also, and our mothers from England also, who supported us. So these things happen. So now we are not scared with anybody.
and when the first delegation came to Panchshil, the dates were clashing with his engagement, and everything was final, right? And you see the preparations of the marriage in their family, and they had to make arrangements for both the things, and they adjust the dates and everything for the exchange visit.
So, sorry.
Yeah, and like she also has committed to this program. Last year there were 4 groups who visited back to back. She came with all the 4, so it's a journey. She is more than 70, and I should not say this for a lady, but yes. And she came with the first group. She was fully dedicated since morning 7 till 10:30, 11 in the night, all the days. Went back, finished the family duties during the break, came back with the second group, went back, did another duties, came back. So in a month, she travelled 4 times from Newcastle to Heathrow to Mumbai to Rajkot and back. So when you see dedication like Mrs. Veena Soni and the other seniors, you're always inspired, right? At this age, she is more energetic than a 16-year-old, and that inspires us to take up these challenges. So in this journey, we have never I never thought about any risk involved, or I was never scared, luckily.
Because we have seen all the risk.
So yeah, just going back from that, because the reason we do and things go, it goes back to what I said at the beginning, the importance of very good planning and the importance of making sure everything is in place. It doesn't just happen. Looking at the hotels, there are hundreds of hotels here in Rajkot. It's about looking for the right hotel for the young people, and that's talking about safety, talking about the people who work there, how they interact with the young people, how they understand that people coming from abroad and how we're going to look after them. So there's a lot of things goes in, just simple things like booking a hotel, looking at when we're thinking of booking a coach, and it's about having that relationship and knowing that the coach that we're hiring is one that we can trust 100%, that the driver we can trust, and we know they're going to drive in a manner which is safe for our young people. So it's every single point, everything, the risk is thought about what might go wrong and making sure that is mitigated, so to the point we can. We do our best to make sure all that, and that I lay down to.
It's always about micro planning.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we
And
plan
we are
down
lucky.
to the,
We are lucky to have good team members always.
all the way through.
As he said, the driver of our bus,
He
right?
comes every time. The same
He
person.
drops the child exactly at the point where we need not cross any road.
Yeah.
Right. Anytime, and he will be there, going through the whole traffic, and he will park in such a manner that we can just get into. He will take care about everything in the bus, right? Sahil and Rahul, they are part of our security team. They take care that they will have all good experiences only, right? So it's all about team, which has helped us a lot. And like now wherever we visit since long, the people from Platinum Hotel or from the Silver Palace, from the Chokidani, right, all the staff members, everyone, the people who do puppet show there or do the pottery work, they all take care of these children, right? Not only the managers, but every single staff, right? They are helping us to do this activity.
So have you seen any long-term impact on the students from Panchsheel as well as the students who come from Newcastle?
It's a
And
lifetime impact, not long time. It's a lifetime impact.
As you told, our Panchsheel is a Gujarati medium school, but right now we have started English medium since last 2 years. 3 of our children who have seen Michael, who have seen Veena, who have seen these groups of people who came to Rajkot from UK. One is now in the University of Sunderland. She is doing medical. One is in somewhere in Newcastle. She is doing her BA.
They are from?
From the Panchsheel.
From Panchsheel
They are
school.
from the Panchsheel school.
Okay.
Now they are doing their graduation in UK. So this is the long term impact, because when they came 2015, 16, they are just 10 years old child. They are in the secondary education or maybe in the higher secondary education. So this is the impact. They saw the global education in the school happen, and then they took part to all the international examination to get in, and then they succeeded. So these three things happen. There are 2 students who came from Sunderland during their school days, and when they came to their colleges, like Abigail and Victoria, they came here and they worked with our children for 6 months. So these are the impacts. These are the few
Like
examples where we have seen.
if you see the students of Panchsheel, like they must feel now they see everybody as a fellow human being, right? They are not amazed by people from different culture, or they never feel that they are different. They always feel that they are like us. They always know that we have so many things to learn from them. They know that they have so many things which we can share with them, our culture, the art and craft, and so many things. It like increase their confidence level like anything.
It's a
And they are
game
very.
of
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a
it's
game
a
of
game
mindset.
of mindset, and also if you can do, I can do. It's a simple game of that. Someone took almost 4 decades in cricket to beat 2 centuries in one cricket. That is Sachin Tendulkar, the Bharat Ratna of India. Then Sehwag was seen on the other end. He also played double century in no time. Rohit Sharma was seeing both of them from backside. Even he did it. So this is simple game of if you can do, I can do. If you did it, I can do it. Simple. So it's the who is that first one to break the barrier. That's it.
I agree. Because I find that and you said this, that how comfortable the children from Panchsheel are with
Yes.
sort of somebody coming in from they don't see it anymore like, okay, oh, we've got visitors. Because they're so used to people coming and going that actually it hasn't.
And
it
because they
doesn't
have
mean
worked
anything.
with so many children,
Yeah.
like as he said, we hosted last year we hosted more than 100 children with more than 20-25 teachers. We went to the test match on the
Yeah.
first day of the India-England test match, and we had 66 guests from UK, right, and around 100 girls from Panchsheel
Panchsheel, yeah.
school. So it was a group of more than
We did.
200.
And sound
It was
impact was
amazing.
like that. Paul Cooley, who was the betting coach at the time of the England cricket team, sent a ticket for us, and the media manager of the England cricket team came to our stand. He broke the security barrier to meet the people.
Yeah,
Wow.
So these are the impact.
that's the impact.
And
actually.
very senior person from Australia. He had been to Rajkot to watch the test
Yeah,
match,
that's right.
and we just met on the gate of the hotel, and we invited him that you can
He
join
came.
us, and the next day he becomes part of our team or our family. And now we have a link in Sydney,
Yeah.
where I have never been. That is just because of these children.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But and the children from the UK are exactly the same. They start off at feeling not, I wouldn't say uncomfortable, but not really not knowing how
Feel a bit
or
shell
what,
shocked,
don't
yes,
they? So
yeah.
because they wouldn't, and they go away feeling very comfortable, very being able to talk to anybody, and I think that impacts their way of thinking for the rest of their life.
And for the students who came from UK, I will give you one example of Abigail. Right, she visited in 2014 for the first time as a sixth form student for just 10 days. Then she decided to come here for 6 months, and she worked with Pansil School, KVKV, and lived with all of us. She stayed for a few days at my home at DK Vadodariya sir's home. And she came to know about the Indian culture, or you can say Indian subcontinent, right? Then she, her brother is a very good swimmer, and he runs a company which takes care of the swimming pools in the communities. She joined after completing her masters. She joined the company, and she was able to communicate with the Bangladeshi community and the Indian communities, and she was able to manage the council to convince that this is their culture and we should allow some of the things while they are coming to the swimming pool. And she find out the way where the rules of the council and the culture of the community can come together.
True.
And that was her achievement in her business. So this is a long-term, or I would say lifetime impact.
Impact. True. Next question is for you. As a Deputy Lord Lieutenant of Northeast England, what are your key responsibilities?
So my key responsibility is to represent the royal family so you can imagine the royal family gets lots of requests for them to attend lots of different places and attend different events and so on. So they can't go everywhere. So I represent the royal family in some of these events as their representative. And when we go, we are treated as their representative, as the royal family, and we are given that same respect when we go to these events. And alongside that, I hand out awards. So when there are award ceremonies, when the citizenship ceremonies, so people who come from abroad decide to become British citizens, so on behalf of the King, I then do the award ceremony and give them British citizenship. And it's that kind of representing the royal family in the region is what my role is as a Deputy Lord Lieutenant.
So abroad as well, or it's limited to Northeast England?
We do a lot of our work is within the northeast that I do, and but there are times when we've been elsewhere or when I'm here that I would be doing things.
What was your journey like to receive the British Empire Medal?
So as I was talking to you earlier, right from a very, very young age, I've been involved in community work in bringing people together from different communities. Then I reached a stage in my life where I found that we found that a lot of young people were saying to us. So I had done a lot of work where I was working with bringing people together, different communities together. But then our own community children are saying, "Auntie, you do everything for everybody. You do nothing for us." And I'm saying, "What do you mean I'm doing nothing for you?" And they said, "Yeah, well, our parents have come from abroad. We don't know anything about our own culture because nobody has taught us anything. And they're so busy working and because a lot of people have come to establish themselves, set up new businesses and so." And they said, "There's no one teaching us." So they said, you should be doing something for us, not just for the community. So then I set up a trust, and in the trust we do through art, through music, through drama, we started bringing people together. So we taught a lot about our culture and our communities, to our communities. So then from that, what we found was that a lot of people from other communities wanted to get involved as well. So it became a very multicultural. So we have arts and dramas, and we've done history of India right from the Incas right the way through. We do tabla lessons, we do Bharatanatyam, we do Kathak, we do anything to do with our culture. And we have people from all communities who come. Alongside that, I work a lot with the private and the public sector, so the police, we talk with the prosecution service, I work with the health service, I work with all of these people. And I've done a lot of work with them, helping them to set up services to meet the needs of all communities. So by doing that, we have now, you go into the health service, they're very much aware of what the needs of ethnic minorities are, the Hindu community, the Jewish communities, this community, that. So I've done a lot of work with all of those. I've produced loads of books and toolkits and resources, and they are in all of these public services. And it was in gratitude for that I was then awarded the
And
medal.
BBC London took notes of your last delegation.
Yes.
What was the perspective on the program?
I think so I know that they were very excited by the prospect that young people, as you've said, young people are being taken away from a very safe environment with their parents, and then taken away to learn about different culture. And what really impacted them was the impact it had made on the young children, and how it had changed their lives, their way of thinking, their mindset, their way of thinking of how we're going to live in the future, and the respect for other people. And I think that what I would like them, and what I'm trying to encourage now, is for them to take it one step further, and then think about following the journey with young people, and being able to talk to them of what they thought India was, and then following that journey right the way through, and then at the end being able to ask them. So that's something that we're working on, to see if we can try and get them interested in doing something like that.
Were there any moments from past exchanges that particularly stood out to the media?
I think that they were, I think they really were taken in by the fact that so many things in such a short time. And up to now, exchanges have been, let's go to France, let's go to Norway, or let's go to Spain. So it's all been very, very near, few hours. And this is like not only is it a totally different culture, totally different way of thinking, but it's also a long way away from their parents.
Different
and
way of different weather.
Different weather, different food, everything is different. And it's miles and miles away from their own homes. And therefore it's about what you said, about life skills, and the skills that these children are learning, that independence of being able to look after themselves, and actually leave their parents for a week and go to the other side of the world, and still sort of, be quite happy and quite content and enjoy themselves. And that's the biggest thing, isn't it? Otherwise you find that sometimes you take young people just a short distance away from their parents, and they're crying and wanting to be back with their parents. But this has taken them to the other side of the world. And I think that really sort of stood out more than anything to the BBC.
Okay. So now we are done with almost all the questions. But I want you all to give a last bites from your side. What is your experience, or about the show, whatever you want to give the message to the public, to the people. So yes, shall we start with you, madam?
So I just want to say again how I've really enjoyed the few days that we've been here so far, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more in the next few days. I've enjoyed obviously being in school, and I'm over the moon that I got a chance to speak on a podcast. Like, I never knew this was going to happen. But yeah, so I'm really pleased. So thank you so much. And again, just like to reiterate the point that Veena just said, I just feel like the children, our children especially, I'm thinking obviously from our students. The resilience that they've built up has just been brilliant in the short time that we've been here, and these life skills are so important, and I just hope that obviously the children at Panchal as well have the same impact too. So thank you.
Just to kind of echo what Case just said there, it's just the experience of a lifetime, just absolutely amazing. I mean, our children will be going off to secondary school now, so this is kind of the only chance during primary that they're going to get to do something like this, and it has just been unbelievable for them, and we've just been made so welcome by everybody, and we just can't thank everybody enough. It's been absolutely fantastic, and hopefully the rest of the week will be too. Very excited for what's to come.
I'm sure it will.
Thank you.
I think for me, the important thing, having spent a lot of time throughout my career on realizing and understanding and looking at, because I've worked a lot on people thinking or made to think differently. And I think it is so important, and I find this project very, very important, and I hope that the government does continue to provide funding for all schools, because I think it is a hands-on experience of changing mindsets. And I think it is so easy when you look at social media, you look at wherever the children are coming in contact all the time of negative feedbacks, but this is an opportunity for them to see positive, and it's an opportunity for them all. So I'm thinking of a Panchal, I'm thinking of, so it's about people here actually realizing and understanding culture from the UK and the people from there, and understanding one another, respecting one another, and that to me is more important than anything else. And you can't put a value on that, which is why I'm saying sort of, if people are looking at funding, that is so important because of the change you're making, and that is much, much a long time. It's a lifelong experience, and I think that is the most important. About if we want peace in the world, then we need to make every child a global citizen, and we need to have every child understanding and respecting every culture and people behaving in different ways and living in different ways.
Yeah.
I think that's more important.
People here in Rajkot or around, sometimes when I visit Mumbai in my group, they used to ask me one question always, that what are the benefits of exchange program and what exactly the exchange program means. I try to explain them what I can, but I think it was only my view. I must appreciate your efforts to have this conversation on your podcast on Savan Vora show, right? And I must thank you for that, because now I will be able to use this episode. I will just send a link and I will tell them that what exactly exchanges and what benefits people get from the exchange. I think you made my answer easy. So thank you so much for inviting us on this wonderful podcast. Thank you.
Sound by, as everybody shared their experience, we can't thank you enough, because you made such a nice setup for us, and I know you are very busy with your new openings, and during these hectic times you spend a time with us, almost 2.5 hours with us. So thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.
And when I'm knowing him since last 3 or 4 months, but when we became a Frenchman, he supported me in my every aspects. So you provide us the opportunity and give a big stage to this our exchange initiative, which we are doing since last a decade. So thank you so much.
Now.
Yeah, more than a decade. So thank you so much for on behalf of everyone from Panchal, from Chopwell, and the whole delegation who visited since last
From
decade.
all the schools from
Yes.
Northeast and the schools here.
Pleasure is totally ours. Thank you everyone for giving your time and sitting here and talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you viewers for viewing this episode. This is something different from our regular podcast. Thank you once again for watching the Savan Vora Show.